Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 3 crazy rescue dogs, raised a cat, 4 rescue guinea pigs, who likes to craft in her spare time, has gone back to school to learn ASL, and is hoping to train for Ironman. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message, boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and we can all use that. And if you're returning, welcome back. Grab a drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. Y'all know the crazy you're in for, and this is no exception. This is the second take. The first take, I ended up filming for an hour and a half, and nobody needs to see me for an hour and a half. Nobody. Okay, so this last week was a little crazy. This week professes to be just as crazy. It's all good. It's all fine. Lots of extra driving, lots of extra signing time. Went and did my first interpreter gig with our mentors out in public. We went to the camping and RV show on Saturday morning, and what a hoot. That was a riot and a half. Was not expecting some of the questions that he asked, but he was doing it, so he learned more. It was a great experience. I had a great time. I am almost done with all of my hours. By the end of this week, we're done with my mentorship hours. I'm already carrying over interactive hours. I think I still need some observation hours, but again, some of that is just like literally sitting down and watching this online class program thing, which I just have to have time for, and we all know, yeah. Okay, so we did that. That was good. That has been a large chunk of things, driving back and forth and signing and getting in hours, because we have some projects coming up, and I want to be done where I don't have to worry about, if I don't need to go and get hours before the end of the semester, I don't have to worry about it. So I'm trying. Okay, so welcome to the crazy. Like I said, I did film this once, but it was an hour and a half, so we'll see how long this one takes, and I'll just upload the shorter one. How's that? Welcome to my world, and that is how we roll here. Okay, so hold please while I take care of Barky Mickey. Okay, hopefully. So had lots of fun, did lots of things this week. Did not get a ton of stitching done, but enough, and we have some haul to show you. So, I'm so like, what happens is then you get in a groove and you're like, okay, so I put this kind of like not in my pile, but it should be in my pile now again, now that we're starting over. So yeah, so we went to the RV show, and that was fun. My mentor, you know, he's invited my partner. Okay, so Jasmine and I partner up usually because, one, we work well together, and two, we don't have to put up with some of the drama from some of the younger kids. I know it sounds horrible, but it is what it is. Okay, so we went. Our mentor has invited us to go down to the Rensen. I think it's next month, for the tattoo expo, and he says he's going to bring a couple friends with him even, which will be super cool and super fun. Everybody signs just a little different. It's almost like an accent. And so the more exposure we have to different signing, I think the better off we are in the long run. So yeah, so that was lots of fun. We also saw Matilda the musical at one of the local high schools. It was an amazing production, y'all. It was better than some of the professional stage productions I've seen downtown in Detroit, and in other like when I lived in Georgia and stuff. It was amazing, and the interpreters were like, I couldn't take my eyes off of them, and there were times where I couldn't tell you what students were on the stage because I was watching the interpreters, and it was just like jaw dropping. So afterwards, I ended up asking the stage manager person if we could maybe spend a few minutes and talk and meet with the interpreters. And they said yes. So we got to go and meet them and have some talk and learn some more. And that was awesome. You know, it never hurts to ask. It never hurts to ask. I'm always prepared for somebody to say no. And 9 times out of 10, they say yes. So that's pretty cool. So after interpreting, my friend Barb, who is stitching with Grammy, messaged me and she's like, "Hey, I'm coming to Stitches and Things. Do you want to meet up and have lunch?" And I was like, "Let me see how far away I am," because I was still over in Novi at the expo. We were done. I was like getting gas afterwards and stuff, but I was like, okay. So yeah, so we met up there. Now Stitches and Things is my local LNS. Unfortunately, Deb has decided to close her shop. She has tried a couple times to sell it and couldn't find a buyer. It wasn't successful, and so she has decided that she wants to retire, and I'm 100% understand and support that. And so she is doing right now her shop is slated to end March close its door finally. She's not even going to be on online. So she is closing doors March 31st, and she is doing right now the sale is 25% off of everything in the store. So I did pick up a couple things. The DMC I'm not going to show you, but like her normal DMC is 50 cents a skein, and then 25% off of that. I'm not going to, like, that's a pretty good deal. So we're going to run with that. Okay, so the one thing I did, so I got the DMCs. I had Bean shoot me a picture of my notebook where I have like what I needed. And so she did that. And so I got most of, I think all but 3 skeins that I knew I needed. And so that was good. And then I got 3 pieces of fabric. Hold. So the first first piece of fabric, and I actually was debating where, I don't know what I did with the third piece. We'll find it somewhere. It's somewhere here. So a while back, Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Primitives started a stitch along. Okay, she was participating. I don't know if she started it. Her and her friends started it. I was like, okay, yeah, absolutely. I want to stitch that. It's so cute. It's the Labyrinth and Friends from the Little Stitcher. The Little Stitcher is on Etsy. It's a super cute pattern if you're familiar with the Labyrinth. I bought the pattern. That's as far as I made it with the set. If I remember correctly, the hashtags are the stench of eternal bog, eternal something like that. I think that's the set thing. So I looked for, so I got all of flosses but 3 of those for that, just having the kit for it, because you know I don't know when I'm going to decide to stitch it. I picked up fabric. This is a 32 count linen. It's by Fairy Wool in the Wood. I've never heard of them. I've never even heard anybody talk about them. Interesting. And it is called Witch Tina. Now, the funny thing is, the lady at the store did not know what I was looking to use this fabric for. And she said, every time I see that label, I see Witch Tuna. So this is the Witch Tuna fabric, which I think is hysterical to do the Labyrinth and Friends stitch along on. It is way more fabric than I need for the Labyrinth. And I don't care. Because at that price, I bought the whole piece. And it really wasn't, even the regular price was $20. And then it was 25% off. So really and truly, it was just buy the piece at that point. I was like, yeah, don't bother cutting it, just buy it. Oh, that's not good. That's why I say my bags aren't perfect, but they're okay with me. I just realized I apparently missed part of the plastic. So we have that. Okay, so I bought the fabric, I bought the floss. Okay. The other one that I bought is this fabric. This is a 25 count Lugana Vintage Stormy Night. I am going to go with, this is a Picture This plus fabric. The reason I say that is, one, it's vintage Stormy Night versus vintage country mocha. But it's also not printed. It's not on the back. So anyways, it's a beautiful blue gray, which that does not show it. It is modeled, but not heavily. So I am going to do, this is going in the bag for the kit for Christmas morning at Santa's Kitchen. That is by Twin Creek Primitives. If you watch Garon's Stitchery, Gary stitched it. I also grabbed the colors that he switched the reds for, so they're brighter reds. So those will go over there in the, one day I'll make them, but for now they're just kitted up. So that's fine. It's fine. Okay, so the other thing is that so that's all I bought last week. The other thing I'm waiting on in the mail, and then I didn't remember that I did in fact order it and pay for it, and I just remembered I reordered it from a different store. So now I've got to cancel the second order. Y'all don't ask. Okay. So this is my 52 card whip pickup piece. This is the Magic Study. I know you can't tell that that's what this is, but that's what this is. The first night that I picked this up to work on, I actually had to import I had to because I switched tablets for my pattern keeper, and I couldn't figure out how to get the stitches to transfer over. I had to go through and mark all of my stitches. Y'all, I'm not even at 1%. Not even at 1%. So I had to go through and remark all my strips. So then by that time I was like, yeah, I'm done. And I set it down and went to bed. So then I did pick it up one other day, and I put in about 100 to 200 stitches on it. Not a ton, but whatever. It's more than it had. So we did that. The other thing that I did is I caught up my whip go from last month. So we are officially done with the January blocks. I put in just over 1,000 stitches in those 10 days. This is for my friend's mom, and it's a picture of her and her late husband. I know. Having some issues with the son, with my friend. This may just get put in a Ziploc bag with a copy of the pattern and told go hire somebody to stitch it. I'm not going to spend my time that is meant to be enjoyed and relaxing for me stitching for somebody who does not value me as a human being. I'm not. And as much as I like his mom, if him and I are not friends, it is not like I am going to be part of her life. And so for me to invest the stitching time to stitch something that has over 40,000 stitches in it, it has to be somebody who's going to treat me nicely and value what I do and who I am. So yeah. I did finish the 10 days on it. So we'll see. It's still got 2 more calls on the board. That is not gonna, those 30 days is not gonna, well, 20 more is not gonna finish it. So it's gonna take a lot of time outside of that, and I'm just not sure that I want to invest the time at this point. So I'm setting it aside. It's got its 10 days with Cold Call. I don't need to work on it tomorrow. If I don't feel like maybe something will change. I don't know. Right now, it's just going to go back hanging on my shelf until either the spirit moves me to work on it, or it gets called again, or I make the decision to just say, here. But I did finish, so I've got the square on January. So then my next square that got called, I had finished it the 10 days in January. It got called again in February. This is the last time it won't get called again this year on WhipGo because I only have it on the board twice. It will get called for 52 card whip pickup, and that is my space cell from The Wonders of the Solar System is actually what it's called, by Climbing Goats Designs out of the UK. She has beautiful sciencey, spacey related patterns. So if that is your jam, that is who I would definitely send you to go see. She is on Etsy. I don't know if she has a shop off of Etsy. She also has a Facebook group. She's fantastic. Her name, the owner's name is Claire. So I am still working on Jupiter. I am almost done with Jupiter. Jupiter, I had to count by hand because I can't figure out how to get this to load into Pattern Keeper. Jupiter is 1,399 stitches. There are a couple up top that I still need to fill in, and just this little bit down here. So I am hoping, if homework goes well tonight, after I'm done filming this, as this uploads, that Jupiter will be done and we can move on to the next planet. God willing. God willing. Right now we're 3 days into working on that this month. It is slated for 10 days. All of my WhipGo pieces are, every square is 10 days. And 10 days is 1 stitch, 10 days is 14 stitches, 10 days is 1,000 stitches. It doesn't matter. 1 day counts whether I'm frogging or if I'm putting in stitches. No matter which way the stitches go, it counts. So the other thing, the other square that called this month is Monopoly. Monopoly is for my son, as you guys know. There we go. So this is also slated for 10 days. I want to say Monopoly is on here twice. On my WhipGo board twice. I think it's on here twice. It already got called for 52 card whip pickup. I've been adding in this side. This is a side with Boardwalk and Park Place. Now remember, I'm changing it to music themed for him. My hope is that I'd really hope to have it finished for Christmas. I'd really hope. But I don't know, because that's where we're at. So, I would really have to be busting a gear on it. Part of it is, once I'm going, like, I don't have to count, but then every once in a while you have to count to make sure that you're not going too far on this, on the thing. Sorry about the zipper. So that is still got 9 more days this month for WhipGo to work on. I love these little pan hangers. I have them, what I do is I put my little projects on them. And then they can hang on my shelf in my room. Okay, so then the other thing that I have been working on, because I love this piece and it just brings me joy to see it coming further along. I am now at 5% done. I know, 5%. I think I'm at 4% on K, 5% on this one. This is Rosie. She's the Hillbilly Candle Company truck picture. So I pulled that out, and that's where we're at. This is, as long as it is, that's as far as it goes down. So it goes much further over. So we are up in this tree in the sun right now. This is kind of where we're at. So still not stitching the truck. One day we'll get there. Today is not the day. But like this, the last 2 days I've pulled this out. And I've put in just over 1,000 stitches. So what's cool is then that covers 2 of my blocks for magical stitches. Because I have to stitch 500 stitches for each quilt block, and there are 50 quilt blocks. And I have a couple. Oh, here's the other piece. I told you it would show up. So this is the other piece that I picked up from Stitches and Things, and it's a week's dye work linen 30 count in corn silk, and it's kind of a yellowy green. And Labyrinth and Friends would fit on this as well. And I was debating back and forth, and I was like, you know what, just buy them both, because seriously, I will use it. It's not like it's gonna go to waste. But then as I was filming the much longer version, the other one is just too perfect not to use. So this will go into my stash, and I will likely use it for ornaments or something, because, you know, or something. I don't know. So the other thing that I was working on this last week is the sweater for Bruno, and I only have 1 more inch to go on the body till I do the little like ribbing on the bottom, and then I can do then I start in on the sleeves. It's so cute. Is it perfect? No. And in fact, what I realized, so I took it Friday, and while we were like on intermission and stuff, I sat there and I knitted. I think I figured out what I'd done wrong. I don't know how to fix it, short of totally starting over, and that's not going to happen. But when I look at it from this side, you really can't necessarily tell. When you look in the inside is when you can tell. I think what I did is, you know, sometimes I have to stop what I'm doing in the middle of a row, like I am now. And I must have gotten confused as to which way I was supposed to work. And I think I've shorted this side, those stitches, and just started to go back on. Like, but I don't think you can tell from this side enough that I'm gonna rip it all out and start over. I think I'm okay. So we're just gonna go with it. I still have one more sweater, at least one more sweater that I want to knit for Bruno. And then I want to crochet some little things as well. So, and then I just bought another crochet pattern. It's a star Afghan. It's really pretty, but then I realized that the yarn that because I've done it before, but I couldn't find the pattern, and I found the pattern. It's $1.70 with my coupon. I was like, for $1.70, I'm not dealing with it. I'm just gonna buy the pattern again. But the yarn that it is designed with is discontinued. So now I've got to go through and figure out what yarn I'm going to use. So we've been playing 52 card whip pickup, and this next week is the 7 of spades. Now generally I don't know what we're pulling. This time I know, because again, we were filming this for the second time, and this week for me is Anne Frank. So I am hoping that this week maybe I can get her face in, or maybe even her torso that's showing. Because I'd really like to get her done this year. She's one of those that is on my list that I would really like to push for a finish. That one, there's a couple of them. So that said, this next week we have to still work on WIPGO. I've got court, homework, and classes, so those are the big things. Now we've got Anne Frank on Super Bowl Sunday, so I likely won't film until after Super Bowl. So like that Monday, I don't like right now. I'm not slated to do that. I like this. Does anybody else get those little ADD? Yeah, it's fine. Is get like these little pieces. Like why doesn't this grow like the other rest of my hair is long? I don't know. It drives me nuts, because then they like always see like it's sticking out. Like why? Maybe that's, I don't know what. See, like I don't have like hair out of my ears. Like what the heck? It's like, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, ADHD. Sorry. So Super Bowl Sunday. So I am going to do this with a couple friends, and what we're going to do is 12 by 12 again on Super Bowl Sunday. It may really and truly be 6 by 6. Like, I don't know. I don't really watch the football game. It's one of those things I kind of gave up with the demands of everything else being pulled on it. So I haven't, like, I couldn't even tell you who's going to play next Sunday. I really and truly, I don't know. So I am going to do 12 by 12 next Sunday. I have basically picked out my projects. So right now I am slated to work. I'm going to try and do 12 by 12. So far, every time I've tried to do 12 by 12, because I redid it for Chinese New Year, and stuff like that. And my goal is to do a 12 by 12 coordinate, like maybe next for March, I'll do 12 by 12 on St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. I don't ever get to all 12, and that's fine with me. Um, because life. So, but you know, hey, goals, whatever. So the 12 projects I am slated to pull and to kind of try and touch next Sunday are Patio Krabby. That's another one I'd like to see finish this year. Really and truly, he should not be lingering this long. Ask Not, Hugs, Lady of the Flag, which I did find my color sheet. Like I said, I did find that, and I still owe it 10 days from December. So that will count as one of those. Loads of Love, which is the cell with Kim and Tammy and the gang. Rosie K. There's No Planet B by the Clouds Factory. The Sing a Song Sampler. And yes, Tina, got your message loud and clear. Sundays are Sing a Song Sampler Day. So I'll see if I can work on that too. Um, going forward on Sundays till we're both done with that. Uh, in His Name, which is for Tammy, because I didn't get to work on it this last Thursday with all of the running around and craziness that ended up happening. I didn't get to zoom with Tammy. And that's always my deal. Is usually when I zoom with Tammy, that's what I work on. And I would like to at least get all the way across to know where I am fabric wise, and then maybe work. I don't know. Okay. So then the Epic Disney Princess Owl from Clouds Factory, I would like to work on that. And then I had won the Australian sampler from Mud Puppy Stitches from Denise at Black Ribbon Stitch Studio, which I'm going to double check for the sizes and my flosses. Hopefully, maybe will fit on this. So I'm going to do that. That I'm going to use for my hashtag for my daughter, Sal. Um, I always try to have a piece for each one of my kids going. Um, I actually have more than one piece for each one of them going. So we're going to do hashtag for my daughter, Sal. And I think I'm going to start the Australian sampler for my daughter next Sunday. And then if any of these projects that I don't want to work on and need to plug in something else, usually what I do, like if I get to, let's say I get to K and I'm like, nope, we're not doing this for that hour, I will just roll down to the next one. So if I get to the point where I still have more time, I'm going to pull the ant placemats that I'm supposed to do for, like, that originally was doing for my mom. My goal, honestly, is to give my mom 4 of the placemats this year for Christmas. Because really and truly, I've had them going for, what, 10 years now? They need to be done and out of my house. And I know, like, she was like, oh, maybe 8. Look, if you get 4, it's a good day. Move on. So that is my plan next Sunday. Again, I don't know if I'm going to film before that or after that or the next day. I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I'm lucky I know my own name. Um. So yeah. So and then we have Anne Frank. So that's kind of where we're at. We'll just keep plowing through things. We'll just keep our treading water. It is what it is. What I'm going to encourage everybody to do is speak kind words. Speak kind words. Just because somebody doesn't meet your criteria of success doesn't mean that they're a failure. It just means that they are at a different stage or view success in a different way. And neither one of you maybe are wrong or right. You're just different. And that's okay. We're allowed to be different. The pattern that I am waiting on from the cross stitch store that I'm a ding dong and ordered now. Told Keepsakes to order it for me too. Is Mary Pets, and it is a sampler. It's Mary Pet 1831, and um, let me see if I could. If you follow Stitches of Heritage on Instagram, first of all, her the information that she shares is amazing. And I've been very lucky to learn a lot from her, which all sorts of okay, so here we go. The sampler was charted by Queensland Queenstown. It's Queenstown. 1831, yeah. Queenstown sampler design. It was stitched by a 10-year-old young lady, African American young lady, who was at the St. Francis School for Colored Girls, run by the Oblette Sisters of Providence, in 1832. And like they didn't have free public education for African American children in Maryland until 1868. So, but when she posted the picture, okay, I really wish I understood how to put the picture in here. I highly encourage you to go follow Stitches of Heritage and to view this picture, because clearly I'm doing a you're not gonna whatever. Okay. So I saw it and fell in love with it and went searching. And yeah. So I did that and now apparently I've actually ordered and paid for one and was and told Keepsakes to order it again, but I haven't paid for it. So there's that. Yeah. So with that said, you guys know my plans. Is kind of keep muddling through. Right now I need to go and do some homework, and we'll go from there. So with that said, if you need anything, please reach out to me at His Princess Kelly on Instagram or on Facebook or wherever, and we will go from there, and I'll see what I can do. I wish you guys a safe, healthy week, with all of the emotional support and kindness that you need. And again, if you need anything, let me know. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.